So I went to my wife and I said, I've got good news and I've got bad news. I said, the good news, my darling, is that I've bought a pub.
Yeah.
But I bought a brothel, I beg your pardon.
Bought a brothel.
I bought a brothel. But the good news is I'm getting rid of the Chinese girls. So she said, thank you, my darling.
All right.
I said, the bad news is I was going to bring Ukrainian girls in. That was before the trouble in Ukraine. So it was funny, then it's not funny now.
Welcome to the show. Now it's your turn to shine.
But Tim, fantastic to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tim Stone, you know, we had a few people talking about you before we even thought about this, getting you on the show, because you seem to be in that little hub of people that in this hub in the community. Yeah. Is that what how would you describe the Southender? What would you say it is? I mean,
yeah, it's actually like I call it a club pub.
A club
Very
pub.
much a club pub. You know,
Yeah.
our bar ladies and all my staff, they know the people by name. They know what they drink. And everybody knows everybody else generally. And
It's like cheers.
Yeah, and when somebody comes in, it's for the first time, it's fantastic to see how many other people they know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked in there and literally it was like,
Yeah, but you know everybody.
The problem is,
knows who you are.
yes. True, that is true. But I also was so surprised at the size of the place, because it's tiny. I mean, when you in that little entrance.
Yeah.
But
One barman after 6, one barman handles everything.
Is it?
We don't have any other staff. One
Yeah,
barman,
yeah.
yeah.
And just keep
We're
it-
very busy too.
Yeah.
Last night we had 2.
Even if there's 2 people, it's still busy there.
Yeah.
But it also, it's certainly got that community feel, you know, which I just love. And it's like I say, like cheers, you know, like Norm. Has everybody got their own table and their thing?
Yeah, it's a bit like church. Very
is
much
it?
like church. My mother had a church pew, and some old duck once sat in it. I thought she was in a murru with her handbag.
Is it?
No, you don't take it. Grant Tomlinson's got his place right there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Shea and the boys, lunchtime, they're there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love
Robbie
it.
Kempson sits with Grant. So if anyone, there's no arguing there.
Okay, Robbie
no.
Kempson he's coaching for the Super
Gray, yeah.
Gray is it Gray now?
But he
Yeah.
played prop, of course, for South Africa.
For South Africa as well, of course. Yes. I mean, there's a couple of well, before we even start, there's a few pre comments. Here we go. Davina Koom saying, "How's it been? Looking forward to the gentleman." Thanks, Davina. Of course, she's also VP related as well.
Davina. Yes, she was in your.
Yeah. She's just
Union
down the
thing.
road from you there in South End. Brendan Kelly, Chris Roth deserved to get slapped. You know, Brendan, I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that Will Smith
Yes, I
Chris
did.
Rock story?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, he bliksemde, man. And you know, I mean, I felt that the joke was probably a bit dodgy. And fair enough, his wife and blah blah blah. But I think the reaction like made the news. That's what made the news. The fresh prints. He makes fresh prints on his cheek. Fresh prints from Pelé. Gene Hussen says.
My sales manager, my old sales manager, lovely
Sales
boy.
manager?
Yeah, yes.
Oh wow,
Really
we'll get
good.
into that. We'll chat then, Gene, about those days as well. Mike Holmes is the biggest regular.
Mark Holmes is more at my place than anywhere else. I don't know where he sleeps.
Well, I know he's either there or at his shop selling biltong.
Yeah.
He's still going there. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
There's
he-
a nice little photo there of some oaks.
Yeah, that's Colin Broadley, and there's Grant on the left, and Tom.
Oh, you see what the
Yeah,
guys are
yeah.
doing there while you're not there?
Yes.
You
Oh,
see? Put that on again. Put that on again. Check them stealing the stuff there.
yes.
Check.
They're helping
Yes,
themselves.
Helping themselves to your drinks.
But
while
that's
you're not
I
there.
expected that from that lot.
Yeah, no, you can't trust them.
Mark Holmes, yes.
That's a photo from Mike Holmes. He's very good at photos, but that particular one wasn't that good.
What used to be?
Grant Stone says, "How's it?" Says, "What used to be next to the South End?" Oh yes.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yes, we know.
This is my
about
son
that.
looking for trouble.
Okay, let's tell that story now.
Must I tell it now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I want to hear that.
Our little building was built in 1868.
That's
1868.
unbelievable.
And this side came up was 1869, but that side was the oldest at 1858.
Wow.
I think it's one of the very first ones in South End.
Yo.
And this one on the right, who's a youngster called Jamie now owns it. His folks bought it, and he does bicycle repairs.
Oh,
he's
yes,
a nice
I've
youngster,
seen
but he's bloody cocky, but he's a nice youngster otherwise.
Lovely youngster, but
Jamie,
cocky, that's how youngsters are.
Yeah. His mom as well, and your mum and dad are watching, I'm sure.
Okay, excellent.
And just a bit of a long story.
Yeah,
Too long?
go for it. Yeah, I like it.
And there was a woman staying there, I won't mention her name, and that, but she...
This is before you bought it?
Yes,
Okay,
before she bought. And she was renting from her brother. And she gave me a hard time about the noise, and they gave me a hard time.
Okay.
And I found out from Gary, who owns this little triangle petrol station over the road, that the brother wanted to move to Cape Town.
Okay.
So he was keen to sell. So I negotiated with him without her knowing. Oh. And I had great delight in telling her I'm the new owner out. Out she went. So that was the history of that. I fixed it up and we sold that to Jamie's folks, Tanya and Franz Lutz. They're well known in St. Francis area.
Okay, all right.
And the other side was...
I think that's what he's talking about.
That's the one he's talking about. Oh, sorry, my boy. I thought you were talking about that.
Oh, that side.
No, he's like his father. He's
we want to hear the cock story on the other side.
The other side was a place of ill repute.
Oh, yes.
It was a Chinese brothel.
Ooh, yeah.
And they came straight from the paddy fields. Yeah. Straight from the paddy fields into that place.
Into that spot.
And then it was up for sale. And it was raining, so they had the auction in my place. And I was quite keen to buy it then.
Okay.
But the Chinese mafia and all those, they bid, and I wasn't going to get involved there.
Okay.
So they bought it. And the guy that bought it, he was actually Taiwanese.
Okay.
He bought it. His name was Elephant. It was quite funny. You negotiate with a guy called Elephant. Yeah. Doesn't sound right anyway.
See, Mr. Elephant.
But out of the blue, one day he phoned me when we've had all this trouble in the country, and he said, no, he's buggering off back to Taiwan.
Okay.
And he said, hello, I said, Tim, do you want to go back to... Do you want to buy my place?
Okay.
And so he negotiated, so I bought it. But I had one experience there that I had to take out Americans. Those days there were no tourist vans like today, safari vans. And I was told to take this group of Americans out.
Yeah.
And I took them out, and it was a rainy season, and we weren't seeing anything. Even where I knew my reliable rhino used to be.
Yeah.
And I was telling them, oh, don't worry, we'll find him. He's no problem. He was always there. He wasn't there.
Oh, geez.
So on the way back, I said to them, sorry, all our lawnmowers and our weed eaters have broken. That's why we haven't been able to mow the lawn. So that's why you haven't been able to see anything. And I got into such trouble because they took it down, Americans. They really believed me. And the warden gave me hell for doing that. Yeah. But I worked out that those guys, because there weren't visitors in those days, 75, 76.
Yeah.
Those guys must have been those secret service, and that's why they were there. They were in the guest house and all that. And I worked. They must have been. I'm not 100% sure, but they could only have been them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
they were hard ass guys too. I could see
that.
Yeah.
Dodgy eggs.
And didn't think things were funny.
Yeah. All right. Oh dear. So that's why the warden was probably a bit worried as well.
Yeah. So, Keith Micklejohn was his name. Nice guy.
And any other stories about the game ranging stuff? Because I mean, you obviously then it's a bit of a passion of yours.
Yeah, there's a very funny story. There's a guy called John Geddes Page he came from King Williamstown. He knew my mother. Very frightful English, John Geddes Page.
Ew, Geddes Page.
And in those days, we hadn't got elephants in yet. They just released lions, and something else they hadn't got. But they were sitting around a board meeting, and somebody said to him, I think it's time we get an ecologist. Yeah. So John Geddes Page sat back. He said, well, why don't we get two so they can breed? Well, those days ecology wasn't a big... it wasn't a big buzzword in those days.
Why don't we get two? We can breed. Two ecologists. We'll have to get the male and a female. I don't think they breed. If two ecologists would breed an ecologist again. Tell a story about the rhino chasing you up the tree. Good Lord.
Oh, no, that means Alan Fogarty.
Oh, really?
You know Alan Fogarty's
bookshops?
Yeah, he's the son. He's the only son, 4 girls and Alan. And he came up for a holiday with me. And I still say it, I don't know if it's true, but that's why he's now big into Alan's tours. He takes people to see gorillas and Addo and all that. He's big into it now. And he's a far better game ranger than I ever would be. Yes. But we were there, and he was very lucky. I was riding horses in the game reserve that time, and I think he came on a horse with me. And we walked, we did everything. Those days you could do it. Yeah. And he swears blind is not true, but we thought it was a white rhino, and when it turned out it was a black rhino, and they charged on the spot.
Shit.
And to this day, I swear blind, he ran up this thorn tree, And when he came down, he didn't have a scratch on him. And I said, do you know, Alan, you were up a thorn tree.
How did you get up there?
Yeah, I don't know how he did. One of those things that fear.
Jeez,
He just got up there, yeah.
And I mean, because a rhino can, they run like...
No, they'll kill you. Yeah, if they hit you, they'll kill you.
What's
yeah.
that joke they say? The rhino can run 40
Like
k's an
Bobby.
hour, so he can run faster than you, and he can swim faster than you. So the only chance you got in a triathlon is the bicycle.
Okay.
With the
and
rhino.
hurdles.
Again, yeah, hurdles, yes. Hekkies. 400 meter hekkies. Gary's also put a thing on here. Now, sorry about that. It says, who's the biggest bullshitter?
Whew, all of them.
They all
But
do, eh?
Tom is the big. Tom's a Cockney.
Oh, he's a Cockney.
So he talks hieroglyphics. That's not really bullshitting, but it's the same thing because you just don't understand
what
him.
the hell
Yeah.
he's saying.
Yeah, the biggest bullshit. You know, we have a bunch, the Amstel boys. That's Gary Rhodes and Dave Ogden and
Okay, Amstel Okies.
all they, well, because they all drink Amstel. Sorry,
Okay.
Ross.
Yes. Ross.
They've got a group there,
And
they bullshitters. They in their late 60s, early 70s.
Okay.
Dave, in fact, had his 70th last week,
All right.
and he was waiting out in the road, and his son and all the boys came in first.
Oh, right.
Which gave us time to close the door, put a big sign up, no 70s allowed. But they bullshit us, yeah. Bruce Wesson.
Maggie. No, we spoke about Maggie earlier, Bruce.
Yeah,
we
Bruce, you were having Bruce's Rotary. Rotary
it's
South.
Yes. Oh, Rotary South, eh? They're getting very old there, Rotary South. Love it, though. They go... I don't know if Peter Long with you guys.
Yeah.
So I know Peter Long as well. Jean Goossen. What the heck is a Cockney? Difficult for this Dutchman, he says.
A Cockney lives in London.
Yes, they live in London. They're talking Cockney slang.
They talk funny.
Yeah, what
they
was
talk
it? We
funny.
were talking about a Cockney slang the other day. It said,
They live near the sounds of the bow bells or something. The
Yeah.
bow church and the sound of the bow
Yes.
bells makes you a Cockney.
yes, and also they speak like they say, they're Cockney slang.
Yes.
They talk about
chalk and cheese. Or Portuguese, they call you chalk and cheese.
yes, chalk and cheese
Yeah.
is Portuguese.
Portuguese,
or,
yeah.
or they say he's
Bubble and squeak is Greek.
Greek,
Yeah,
oh,
my
right.
bubble and squeak, mate. That's
oh, he's a bubble and squeak, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's right.
that's it.
And what's it? The trouble and strife is your wife.
That's
eh?
right. Yes, trouble and strife.
Oh,
that's
well,
right.
I'm going to go back to trouble and strife, haven't I? Oh, my word. I don't know. Everybody got some Cockney slang you can throw at us here. I love that sort of thing.
Shame, Tom's got an ear that sticks out a bit.
Yes. Oh, okay, right.
Like this.
Because of why? Why is it?
Because he's got Linda, his wife,
Yes.
doesn't take nonsense.
Bless
And if he's
him.
there late, she comes in. She
She
walks
gives-
straight in, doesn't greet you.
Oh, yeah?
Goes straight there, grabs him by the hand,
Gives him
says,
the ear.
out. And out he
comes
goes.
Out he goes.
And he doesn't murmur. He just gives him, out he goes.
I love it. Yeah, no, I'm sure.
We've got a lovely old crowd of Muir. They're the class of 62.
Wow.
Muir's going to have its 200th anniversary this year.
200th anniversary from Muir.
Yes.
Can you believe it?
Yeah. Oldest, I think, English-speaking school in South Africa. I don't think many
I think
people
it
know
is
Yeah.
the oldest school in
Yeah.
South Africa. They claim it. I don't know. I think there's another school that's like, oh no, we are the oldest. But I think Muir's like, hey, ons is uit nog, hoorie.
Yeah.
That's the vibe.
And they come every Friday lunchtime. Lovely people.
And I saw that
Very
when
active.
I was talking to Martin, and he said that's the German table.
Oof, yeah.
Right?
In the evening, the old Muir's lunchtime.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that no one takes it when the old Muir boys go out. You got to reserve it for the got the German and the Austrian flag.
Oh, that you put in there. as
Yeah,
well.
and then the German
Germans,
guys come
eh?
in. Yeah.
So it's a wartime thing, I think.
Fred Engler, and all the boys. Yes.
Hagen English dad.
That's him,
Excellent.
yeah.
We love the English.
Hagen Engler's been promising to come to the pub and to sing a ditty, but he has.
Somebody please tag Hagen. I'll go and play Cajon there with you, Hagen.
Yes.
We'll do a jam.
Yes.
I think that'll be a fantastic plan. Garth Webster said plates of meat. Feet. Oh,
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go. Plates of meat.
Yeah.
Oh, what you doing with your plates of meat, mate? Take them off my couch.
Cologne.
Oh, the Cologne telephones.
This cost. Not bad.
Hey,
Yes,
God,
yeah.
I like it, man. They say
Yeah.
that's what they do with Cockney slang. They say,
Yes.
oh, how's your eau de cologne? And you're speaking on your eau de cologne. Oh, no, it's a cell phone or telephone.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh no, we that's beautiful.
Oh, okay.
We're going balls to the wall here. What would you like your kids to know? Have you got children?
Yes.
I've got your wife Brenda, eh?
Yes.
So when did you get married then?
Then 2 years later, year later, Grant came along.
Okay.
I wanted a boy, and I said, if you don't give me a boy, I'm pushing it back. So she gave me a boy. I got a boy. And he is everything I wanted to be. He is sporty wise. He's a very good sportsman.
Okay, good.
And he was at Grey for a while, then we moved to Maritzburg.
Okay.
And he now plays cricket in Cornwall.
Oh,
But he's a landscaper there and he lives in Cornwall.
Okay.
And we're going to see them in June.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
and Grant is...
Only child?
No, my daughter
daughter
is
as well.
2 years later. Nicole came along.
Okay, Nicole.
And,
Did you have a pigeon pair?
Yes, and when Grant was born, I must just tell you, he firstly they stuck me on such a crookie, my wife, and then because she was late,
Okay.
and then she was going to be induced the next day.
Okay.
And so that night, because she's already gone into hospital, so
Yes.
that night I had an absolute bend at the S Bend. There was that, I can't remember the restaurants,
The-
Margot's or something.
Margot's,
It
yes.
was the guy that had the red plate, that chef. He's owned a few places, the guys will remember.
I can't remember. Somebody will put his name in there.
Yeah, at the S Bend. It's now an estate
Bend.
agency, I think.
Was it O'Hagan's?
No, it was
Margot's.
it was a restaurant.
Okay, yeah.
And we got hammered. But I knew it was safe because Brenda was only going to get induced the next day.
Yes.
She stuck me on a crookies at about 2 o'clock. She started to go into labour, and then they phoned me, and I was finished. I was hammered, and every time I went, I had to sleep, so I'd go into a delivery room where there was and then the nurses, they were horrible to me. They used to chase me out. Then I'd find another one. They'd chase me out. And then he came along, and he was back. They took his time. They had to suck him out because he's a big baby at that stage.
Yo.
So when they put him on this in the incubator, oh jeez, I had the most horrible hangover, and he was. I'm not showing my boy, but you've very
Long head.
You're like a cone head.
Vacuum cone head. Yeah, got it.
He was, and when I had
Alan
to know,
Fryer. That's him.
Alan Fryer, that's
Fryer,
the boy.
it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Gillian.
Yeah. And I was now wheeling him to the incubators.
Yes.
And there were 3 or 4 other very proud dads in the corner there,
right.
discussing their babies. And I said, there's no ways. So I saw a light right there all by himself, and I pushed him in there.
The embarrassment, Grant. The embarrassment that you caused your father with your cone head.
Yeah, because he was stubborn. Yeah.
Sean Brito says,
That's a brawler.
He said, Sean,
That's a long time ago, Sean.
has a fight walking the dogs.
In Mill Park.
Did you fight with somebody in Mill Park?
I'll tell that one. I'm not going any further. That's the only one I want to talk about.
Okay.
It was we had 2 big dogs. We had a Bull Cross Great Dane, and we had a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
But they came from when we lived in Sardinia Bay, and we came to Mill Park.
Big dogs.
Big dogs, and they weren't socialised, and they weren't trained, so we had to walk late at night. And so
you had to walk late at night.
To let them off the lead, we had to couldn't go down at night.
To let them off the lead. Yeah. It's like double danger.
So we used to take them to that park.
Okay.
And that one night, some little prick, he came with his puppy. Sorry, some little youngster. He came with his puppy. And I said to him, Dad, put your dog on the lead, otherwise my dogs will kill it. He said, no, my dog's fine, it's a puppy. I said, don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
And so we had words. And he swung at me.
Who?
Yeah. So we had a hell of a fight. And this is a true story.
Yeah.
My daughter was with the dogs. The dogs, when we started to hit, the dogs ran home. My daughter didn't. She ran home with the dogs. She never spoke to me for 2 weeks. She thought I was the most disgusting creature.
Deserved.
But the best thing of the lot is that it was slippery. And that was like a slope. And he was like that. And he came to hit me and he slipped. So he fell, so I could get the best blow of the lot. So I think I won the fight.
You won. You won when he went down the slope. Mill Park brawler.
That's where it came from. Yeah, that's exactly where it came from.
So that's where it came from.
Long time ago. Though.
One time. One time you Mura just because he had a puppy. Chris Gilson, did the lockdown on drinking and closing of pubs affect you in any way, and how did you counteract it? He's asking questions.
Yeah, jeez.
Did you guys? I mean, a lot of pubs.
No.
You had to shut
lock down. Yeah,
you
locked
had
down.
to shut down.
They tried to kill us.
Yeah,
they tried to kill us. We were very good for a while.
You still have to pay rent. You still have to pay a liquor license.
Very proud to say I paid my staff right through.
Yeah,
not the full because cheaper.
Yes.
But we could.
Okay.
And the worst thing about that, though, it really burns my backside, is that the government hasn't helped us once, like you entertainers, exactly the same. Haven't helped us 1 cent. And I thought when I had to pay my liquor license the other day, and they put the liquor license up from 600 rand, overnight they put it to 3,000 rand.
Jeez.
A couple of years ago, not now. And I thought, geez, the best, at least they could have just said, guys, for 2 years we're going to scrap liquor license. Nothing.
Because they didn't allow you to sell booze.
Nothing. Gave us nothing, not a cent. And I feel so, I was lucky that it's sort of my retirement thing that I had a war chest. But a lot of poor guys must have struggled. I don't know how they did it. I would like to think that no pubs opened in lockdown. I'd like to think that to honour what the government told us to do, we had to do it. And I think we all obeyed. Pretty good citizens. We are very good citizens.
The oldies, the one thing about the older guys as well, they do obey rules. They call it the silent generation. It's like the rules and regulations are there.
You know what? They don't really. They give it other names. It sounds better. Then they do it under other names. You know, they're not going out drinking. They're going to book club or they're going to.
Finally, the proudest moment of your life.
I've had lots. Yeah,
other than your kids.
I just think that this pub becoming exactly when I sat there with 9.5 years ago, 9 years ago, sat there and I knew what I wanted it to turn out to be. And I think the proudest thing is it has turned out better than I wanted.
Exactly what you wanted.
Exactly that.
Wow.
No fighting, no puking, no shouting. People just coming there to chat. No loud music. Just guys coming and girls coming, chatting.
Vibe.
And no stress, no pressure. Friendly. Come there, have a few drinks and go.
Friendship circle.
And every day I walk in, I'm very proud of it.
All there saying, how's it? Hey, hello there. Happy birthday. Everybody's saying happy birthday to Mike Holmes. Just out of the blue. It was fantastic.
Yes, that's right.
But Tim, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thanks, I can relax now.
You can relax now.